We're at Six Flags Great America in Gurnee, Illinois. We're here for their Flavors of the World Food Festival. Let's go eat. Hello, Goblins and Goblinettes. Welcome back to another edition of Destined to be Goblin. Destined Goblin here, and I am being joined by
Mrs. Goblin.
And this is where we will try a food product of some kind, maybe something you didn't even know existed, and we will decide whether or not we should give it my Destined Goblin seal of approval. All right, we are at Six Flags Great America in Gurnee, Illinois. This is their Flavors of the World Food Festival. This event is going on at other Six Flags, not all of them, some of them. And this event runs until the end of July. It only runs on weekends. So if you want to take advantage of this, you're going to have to do that pretty quickly. What you'll do is you will buy your admission to get into the park, and then you will buy a food card, and that will give you the opportunity to sample some of the items that they have. And we are going to see exactly what we can find. We're going to get as many of those items as we can. It's flavors from all around the world, so let's get started. Okay, so in the Korea booth, food booth, you're going to see different food booths set up all throughout the area. This is the kimchi dumplings. These are steamed chicken and kimchi dumplings on a bed of crisp slaw, topped with sriracha and served with a soy dipping sauce on the side. That one is tasty. That is also very spicy. That sriracha really brings the heat on that one. The soy actually kind of cools it down a little bit. It's a really good dipping sauce for that. The kimchi is nice and flavorful, nice and spicy. That's a very good entry. This one comes from the China booth. These are pork sticky buns. This is a steamed pork tossed in sweet and sour sauce, served in an oven-toasted sticky bun with a side of kimchi. So again, we're getting another shot here at the kimchi. We also got a strawberry green tea. That's a good one. As Mrs. Goblin will tell you, I am not usually a huge fan of sticky buns. That, however, was very good. The filling in that was a very substantial amount. There was a lot of filling in there, and it really made for a nice bite when you put the kimchi in as well. So that was a good one. The tea, the strawberry tea, I thought maybe it would be a little unbalanced. I thought maybe it would have too much strawberry flavor, too much tea flavor. It's actually a nice balance overall, so two good ones there. This one is from Italy. These are mini arrosticini skewers. That is succulent lamb skewers paired with artichoke hearts, tomato sauce, and oregano. That one was a little bit disappointing. The lamb was a little bit overcooked on that, so it was a little bit dry and a little bit tough. The sauce itself was flavorful because of the oregano, but it definitely seemed like a canned sauce. I don't think that was a fresh sauce. That one I would probably pass on, especially if you're watching the number of punches that you get. Again, you buy a punch card, you're going to get samples of these things. So if you have to make a decision between that one or maybe something a little bit more yummy, I'd go with the other option. All right, so here from Italy, we have an antipasto tray. We've got Genoa salami, fontina cheese, artisanal crackers, and green olives. Nothing overly fancy here, but I am definitely a sucker for an antipasto tray, so I had to get this one. Well, as I said, I am a sucker for an antipasto tray, so the simple fact that that was on the menu, I was going to get that one regardless. The very disappointing fact of that one is that we watched them put that one together, and all of that stuff was pre-packaged out of any package that you could get in a grocery store. But it was good. I mean, if you like any of the pre-packaged antipasto trays that you can get, the salamis and the cheeses and things like that, it was good. It was tasty. But again, be aware, none of that is made fresh. That is all from a larger container. This one comes from Italy. This is warm focaccia. It is toasted focaccia brushed with olive oil, topped with Parmesan cheese and Tuscan salt, served with marinara sauce on the side. Good. I don't know how much that focaccia was actually toasted. The marinara sauce was nice and warm, and it was good. It was a little different than the other marinara sauce that we had. I would almost call this one a little bit more homemade, but it could very well have been from a can, I'm not sure. But the drizzled with olive oil part is the part that I'm struggling with a little bit. It's more like someone had a bottle of olive oil and ran by and splashed a little bit on it, and that was about it. So it could have used a little bit more olive oil, but not bad overall. Good flavor on that one. This one comes from Italy. This is a tiramisu gelato cone. Classic tiramisu served in a red velvet waffle cone with vanilla gelato, topped with chocolate syrup and powdered sugar. If you're looking for a dessert, that's not bad. It's nice and sweet. You get some ice cream with it. You get a little bit of a cake. You get a waffle cone. If you're looking for any of the specific flavors that that one is supposed to have, you might be disappointed. For one thing, that was definitely not vanilla ice cream. That was chocolate ice cream. And it was more ice cream than gelato. We've had gelato in Italy, and this, I don't know that I would call this gelato as much as more of American ice cream. The tiramisu had a little bit of a coffee flavor to it, but it was sort of a subtle flavor, and the red velvet waffle cone tasted pretty much just like a waffle cone. So again, if you're looking for any of those specific flavors, you might not be happy with this one, but if you're just looking for a nice dessert, it's not bad as a dessert. Alright, these are from France. This item is called black truffle fries. These are crisp French fries topped with black truffle and a brie fondue. So there's a good look at those. That one was a little underwhelming. When you hear black truffle fries, when you hear brie fondue sauce on there, you're thinking there's going to be some big, bold flavors there. And unless you got a lot of that sauce on one of the fries, the brie didn't really come through all that much. Now, if you did get a fry with a lot of the sauce on there. You definitely knew that it wasn't a simple cheese sauce. You knew that it was a little bit of a different type of a cheese sauce. So it did have a good brie flavor when you got a lot of it on there. The truffle, calling them black truffle fries, there was a lot of truffle powder on those fries, and the flavor was not very strong. So I was a little surprised by that one, that the flavor was a little more subtle than I thought it would be. Again, one of those I'm kind of on the fence about. The fries were cooked perfectly. Can't say anything bad about that. They definitely had the crisp, very perfectly cooked on those. Not overcooked, not undercooked, but flavor overall just okay. This one comes from France. This is a ham and cheese croissant. Toasted croissant served with hot ham and melted Swiss cheese. Not a lot to say about that one. That is pretty much ham and Swiss on a croissant. Lots of ham, lots of Swiss, good flavor on them, good flavor on the croissant. It's nicely toasted, it's nice and melted. It's also a very big sandwich, so if you are looking for something a little bit heartier, that is a good one to get, because that one is going to give you a lot of food for your sample. This one comes from France. This is a crepe. This is a vanilla crepe filled with Nutella and strawberries and finished with whipped cream, chocolate sauce, and powdered sugar. Okay, so I know that crepes are very polarizing. I know a lot of people are very particular about their crepes. If you are one of those people, you may not like this one at all. I watched as they built this one, and those are pre-made crepes. They literally came out of a package. So they took the crepe out of the package, rubbed some Nutella on there, put some strawberries on it, toasted it for a few seconds, and then finished it with the whipped cream and the chocolate sauce. So if you're looking for a sweet dessert, the flavor's not too bad. You get the Nutella flavor. The crepe is a little bit thicker than it should be. And again, it's not warmed a lot. So you might not enjoy that one if you're looking for the crepe experience, but if you just want something sweet, that's a good way to go. All right, this one comes from France. These are macarons. Now, first of all, right off the bat on this one, they're being advertised as 5 macarons for your sample. As you can see, you get 3. So that is a little bit of a change there. All of their signage, everything says that you get 5 macarons. You actually only get 3. They come in assorted flavors, so let's see what we have here. That one kind of took me by surprise. If you know anything about macarons, of course you know that you want that crisp outer shell, you want that soft, chewy inside, and then you want a nice, flavorful filling in between them. And that had all of that. When you bite into it, the shell cracked very nicely. There was a nice chew in the cookie itself. And then the filling had a lot of flavor. Those were raspberry and vanilla that we had. So whether there are other flavors, not exactly sure. They just mentioned that they come in assorted flavors, and I guess you get what you get. But those are actually pretty good. Just a quick little tip: if you do decide to try out the food festival, you're probably going to want to get one of those sampler cards. Most of the items are going to be about $9 or $10 a piece. So in the long run, it is going to work out to your benefit. If you get the sampler cards, you can get one in an 8 count, you can get one in a 12 count. So keep that in mind. The 8 count, I believe, is $49, and I'm not sure on the price on the 12. This one is from the Caribbean. This is called pica pollo with tostones. This is deep fried chicken wing in drumstick, served with fried plantains, and then there's ketchup on the plantains. Note on the fried chicken, the batter itself has a lot of flavor to it, but as you can see, it is very, very deep fried, almost to the point of being burned. Okay, a couple of notes on that one. The chicken itself was okay. It was actually fairly juicy. It wasn't super juicy, it wasn't super dry. It was somewhere kind of in between on that one. It was passable. The plantains were actually the highlight of that dish. I've had plantains fewer times than I could count on one hand. I mean, the number of times I've had plantains I could count on one hand. These were some of the best that I've had, and I've never had them with the ketchup on them. And I thought that was a nice little twist. So plantains were good, chicken was just okay. All right, this is a dish that comes from the Caribbean. This is actually a dish that I have wanted to try for a very long time. This is called salchipapa. I've never had a chance to try this. This is deep fried beef sausage mixed with French fries, mozzarella cheese, ketchup, and mayo. I really like that one. I thought that the flavors of the ketchup, the mayo, the cheese, the hot dogs on there, I thought that all worked very well together. One note that Mrs. Goblin did make is that the fries were not on the crispy side. They were sort of soft and just not crisped up at all. They did take the fries out, put the toppings on, smother it with cheese, and then baked it in the oven for a minute or two to melt all of that cheese. So I don't know if that was a function of that, if that affected the fries or not, but the fries were not crispy. But overall, I did like that one. I have no idea if I'm going to say this one correctly, but this drink is called Morir Sanando. I have no idea if that is correct or not. This is a refreshing cold drink with milk and orange juice, garnished with a slice of orange, and this is another offering from the Caribbean. That is pretty good. That is nice and light, it's refreshing, it's got a lot of orange flavor, it's like a creamier type of an orange juice mixed with the milk. You do get that glass, that souvenir glass is yours to keep as well. So that's a nice little bonus for that. So that's a good one. That's a good refreshing drink, especially in the heat. Okay, this is another one from the Caribbean. This is the classic dessert flan. This is caramel custard, again from the Caribbean. This one is all Mrs. Goblin, because I personally cannot stand flan. It's a texture thing for me. I've often said it should be called phlegm instead of flan.
I'm supposed to do the review on the flan, since Destined Goblin doesn't like flan. It is a nice custard, creamy flavor to it, just like your typical flan, and the caramel accents it nicely as well.
This one comes from Cuba. These are Cuban cigar rolls. These are deep-fried spring rolls filled with roasted pork, ham, Swiss cheese, and pickles, served with a spicy mustard. So you are basically looking at a Cuban sandwich in a spring roll. Okay, this one is a very bad mess up here because As you can see, there's the filling right there. These are not Cuban cigar rolls at all. These are Asian spring rolls. There's carrots in there, there's celery in there, there's other vegetables. That's supposed to be roast pork, ham, Swiss, and pickles. None of those things are in there. This is a traditional egg roll. I was very much looking forward to those because I do love Cuban sandwiches. I have had Cuban rolls like that, Cuban egg rolls like that before. I'm very disappointed in that one. This one comes from India. These are chicken samosas, deep fried pastry with chicken. It is supposed to be served with a tamarind date chutney. I'm not sure if they ran out of that or what happened with that because they said they were giving us barbecue sauce, so not sure about that. This also comes in a vegetarian option. The best bites that I have had here. Very flavorful. Chicken has sort of a curry flavor to it. The pastry is cooked perfectly. Little bit of heat. Smokiness from that sauce. It's definitely not the tamarind date chutney that it was supposed to be. It's more of a barbecue sauce, but it is very good. It gives it a little bit more smokiness. That was one of my favorite things here so far. This is from India. This is that classic dish, tandoori chicken. This is tandoori chicken served on top of lemon slices, finished with red onion and cilantro. On first glance, I'll tell you I'm a little concerned about this. The chicken looks a little bit dry, but we will see what happens. That was a bit of a surprise. I thought that the chicken was going to be dry. It was almost there. It was almost dry, but it was not bad. And the flavor was outstanding on that classic tandoori chicken flavor. Appropriate amount of heat. That sauce with it cooled it down nicely. The lemon gave it an extra little punch. Really good stuff on that one. All right, so this one was a little bit of a surprise. This is a mango lassi from India. This one was actually not on the little menu pamphlet that we got, so this was a surprise. A mango lassi is a creamy drink with mango, yogurt, milk, a little bit of sugar, and a sprinkling of cardamom. So another offering from India. I have never actually had one of those drinks before. I know Mrs. Goblin has. That's good. That is sort of like a creamier milkshake and very fruity. And the really nice thing about that is, especially after a hot Indian dish, something like tandoori chicken or even something really even hotter, it's nice to have that cooling effect from a drink like that. So that's a really good one. This one is from India. And I know I'm going to get this name wrong. This is gulab jamun. I'm sure I'm saying that wrong. Those are deep fried dough balls served with a cardamom syrup. Not exactly sure how I feel about that one. Sort of like a donut hole with an extremely sweet syrup on it. The syrup is really where all of the flavor comes from, and it's very, very sweet. I can't imagine eating a lot of those. Not bad. A decent taste, but if you don't like sweet, definitely don't want that one. This is masala chai tea, and that is served with biscuits on the side. So you get 2 cookies and masala chai tea. This is a hot drink. I'm sure you could tell from my reaction on that one. That one is not for me. There is a very strong flavor of the spices on that one, and a very strong tea flavor as well. Yeah, if you're a fan of tea, if you like tea, you like really strong tea, you will like that. Otherwise, add in the fact that that is a hot drink on a hot day. Not for me. This one comes from Greece. This is a gyro pita. It's lamb tossed with a crisp slaw and tzatziki sauce, served with pieces of pita bread. So this is sort of like a deconstructed gyro. Big fan of gyros. I'm a big fan of gyro meat. I love the seared lamb that you'll usually get in gyros. Not a big fan of this one. I don't mind the deconstructed part of it. Totally fine with that. I tend to be more of a traditionalist, I think, with my gyros. I like them to have the gyro meat, some cucumbers in there, some tomatoes, some onions, and then that tzatziki sauce. This was cabbage, and this was a lot of cabbage. That slaw is almost 100% cabbage. There's some carrots in there, and the tzatziki sauce is not very flavorful. Not much, that cucumber sauce, that cucumber flavor that should be all over a gyro is not there at all. That one was kind of missing. That one really missed the mark. Plus the pita, I don't believe was warmed in any way. Usually you'll get some grilling on it, a little bit of toasting, at least a little bit of a warming or something. That was a cold pita. Not impressed with that one. This one is from Greece. This is baklava. Sweet Greek dessert made with layers of phyllo dough, honey, and nuts. And of course we have a dusting of powdered sugar on there. This is from Turkey. This one is the falafel. This is the classic Middle Eastern dish made from a mixture of chickpeas, fresh herbs and spices, formed into a ball and deep fried and served with tzatziki sauce. They were fried maybe a little bit too long, just a touch, a little bit overcooked, but good flavor on that. Nice chickpea flavor and lots of curry flavor on that. I did try the tzatziki sauce on its own that time, and this tzatziki sauce was actually better than the sauce that was on the pita, the gyro pita. So I was happy with the sauce on this one. Overall, not too bad. This one is from Lebanon. And this is the chicken shawarma. Tender pieces of marinated chicken served in a warm pita with lettuce, tomato, and cucumber, served with a garlic yogurt sauce on the side, which actually looks like it is on the sandwich itself in this case. This, I would have to say, is possibly the largest offering that we have seen out of any of them. There's a lot of food right there. Is a very good one. Everything about that one is good, from the ingredients to the construction to the amount of food that you get in that one. The chicken is grilled very nicely. It is juicy. That garlic yogurt sauce has a great flavor on it. The pita was grilled. It was nice and warm. There was a good balance of the tomato and the lettuce and everything else that was in there. This was more of a pita of a gyro, I should say, than the gyro was. So I was happy with this one. That one was very good. That was a lot of food. I don't know about you, but I am pretty full.
Yeah.
So, again, if you would like to take part in this, get to your Six Flags before the end of July. This event runs through July, weekends only. And again, it is not at all of the Six Flags. So check with your local Six Flags park to see if they're doing it. Again, you can get one of these sampler cards just like this. You can see as you go along, they punch your selections out as you go, use up all your card, and then they're no good anymore. So there we go. $49.99 for 8 samples, $64.99 for 12 samples. And if you are pass holders like we are, you can get the 12 sampler card for the price of an 8. So you get 4 samples free. Overall, again, I think if we were to average everything out, I think we would probably see that everything came out to be very good, which we will then give the entire event a 2-star seal of approval. All right, there we go. Again, check out your Six Flags for the Flavors of the World. Is that what it is? Yes, Flavors of the World. There we go. Flavors of the World. Check that event out, and we will catch you next time.